How's it going, everyone? It's Zerker, and today we're going to do my long overdue manga haul. This manga haul will be for the month of July and August. If you're unaware, I was in the process of moving for much of August, and I didn't want to do a video at the end of July, get everything mixed up, and then, and I still had a lot of shipments coming in. So I decided just to push July's haul into August and make it just a big haul. Now, if you don't know what this, I guess, was basically a series now for me, is once a month, or at the end of every month, I should say, I showcase the anime merch, manga, anything anime, manga related. I put it up on here. I don't just, like I always say, I don't just buy manga and then that's it. Sometimes I buy the Blu-rays, sometimes I buy some figurines. One thing I've really gotten into lately is the vinyls for anime, if you can find them. That's what these videos are about, just showcasing that there's more out there than just anime and manga. You can get vinyls, for instance. So, with all that said, what I ended up doing this time is buying a good mixture of brand new, currently running, out of print, and very old manga. And I think what we'll do for this particular video is we'll go ahead and do stuff that is currently serializing or just ended, and then we'll go into stuff that is out of print, and then we'll end up with the completely old stuff that I have. And then at the very end, we will I'll show the hentai that I picked up as well, I guess, since that is part of what was in these shipments. Normally I would like to do an unboxing, an actual unboxing with the box and everything, but I get these from all over the place. Right Stuff, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, eBay. I get them from all over. And usually if it's something that comes through Amazon, it's usually bundled with some other items. So to make things easier for me, I just open everything up, set it aside out of, so it's not mixed up in here. And then when it's time to do the video, I show it. So what I'll do is we'll just pull up a series. I'll hold them up. I'll show a little bit if I can. And then we'll just go through that way. So we're going to start off with things that are currently serializing and still being published right now. So we're going to start it off with a couple hardcover omnibuses. This one I'm about to show right now is actually one I'm thinking about getting rid of. I read the first volume, or the first omnibus, and it just didn't really draw me in that much. Not like the film did. I really like the film a lot more than I've been enjoying the manga. So, but talking about Saint Youngman, this is the 5th omnibus. I have all 4. I pre-ordered 1 through 5 originally, and now I'm kind of regretting these purchases a little bit. So I may end up getting rid of these to clear out some space. Next, I guess omnibus or deluxe edition we're going to do is volume 3 of Hellsing. I'm collecting more for these of the collector's aspect, I guess. I really like these covers, especially like when they're sitting on the shelf. They just pop out. I love that. I love it. And it's very simple. They seem really nice. And maybe at some point, if I decide to, I'll dig into them and read up on Hellsing again. It's been a long time since I consumed anything of Hellsing. So yeah, this is volume 3 of the deluxe edition. And lastly, for the the hardcovers, I guess, volume 3 of Blade of the Immortal. I'm a Blade of the Immortal fan. I will say, prior to picking these up, I was really deciding on if I should grab the omnibus versions or these deluxe versions. One thing I will say with omnibus, especially like the paperback versions, and we have one I'll get to in a minute. One issue I have with those is I'm always very concerned with the spine holding the pages in, especially as you're turning pages, instead of, you know, putting stress on the spine. That's something I'm always concerned about with the paperback versions. That's kind of why I chose to go with this hardcover one. I feel like it's gonna have a better time holding up when I do decide to start reading into these. And I have looked at considering buying the singles. There is a used, it's like a pretty big used bookstore, and they always have like quadruples of like every volume, it seems like, of the manga singles for this particular one. So, but yeah, so I went with these ones. I don't mind the spine too much. It looks really nice, especially when it's partnered up against the Hellsing volumes. And, you know, these are always nice to look at. I think these are a nice little touch, but yeah. So now we're going to jump into everything that is currently serializing or just ended serializing. And we're going to kick it off with one that I think might be very popular. That's Die Dark. Now, I haven't fully read Volume 1 just yet. I have put Volume 3 pre-ordered, and I'm going to wait before I really jump into this until I have Volume 3. That way I can read from 1 to 3 and decide if I want to continue with this. And I'm hoping this is very similar in terms of, you know, violence and atmosphere or feeling of the atmosphere, the comedy and everything that Dorohedoro, which is made by the same mangaka. And I'm hoping this has all the same elements, because I really enjoyed, you know, Dorohedoro, it felt, it was a little sloppy in my opinion at sometimes. You know, it was hard to follow the story at sometimes, but I still enjoyed the shit out of it, and I'm hoping that this will give me the same feeling. And so this was one I'm definitely, I may open this next one up to read it. I may not. I may just decide to get rid of it. That is, To Save the World, Can You Wake Up the Morning After with a Demi-Human? Very similar to Die Dark. I ordered volumes 1 to 3. 3 just showed up. My issue with this particular manga, so when I ordered this manga, I ordered this one along with, well, not this particular one, but when I ordered volume 1 of this series, I ordered Saki the Succubus along with it. Now, I originally thought, because I don't know why, but I thought this one would have ended up being outrageously censored to the point where it was not enjoyable to read. Turns out this one was not censored that much. You know, it censored out certain physical bits. But other than that, this one was a fun read. Volume 1 and 2 of this one so far, they've blurred out or put the big giant black bars around stupid words like masturbation or like boobies or something like that. They just put these stupid bars around these words that just ruins the flow of the read, in my opinion. And the story overall is just stupid. Like it is, this dude's essentially getting raped like every chapter, and it's just dumb. Don't pick this up. Just don't. Just pass on it. It's not worth it. Now that little tangent's over, let's get back into some good shit. Volume 33, Attack on Titan. This is going to be the second to last volume. I believe 34 is going to be our last volume for the series. I still haven't started reading this one just yet. I plan to, though, very, very soon. I think, because I got a couple series that I did just pick up that I'm really curious about reading. I'm going to hammer through those real quick, and then I'm going to start on the where season 4A, or the most recent season, ended, and that's where I'm going to pick up at in the manga. And one that just ended for us, and it was a ride. I really thoroughly enjoyed this manga. I think the anime is going to do really, really well, especially if they keep with the production that season 1 had and that the movie or the film had. But anyway, Demon Slayer Volume 23. This was a fun read, a sad read, but very much worth the journey. Meiruku-chan Volume 3, just read this one last night, and it's actually getting very, very interesting as far as where it's going. If you like ghosts, spirits, I guess kind of horror, I guess. It's got a lot of Japanese folklore type of things in there. Check this one out. It's pretty wholesome for the most part. The drawings for the demons. Let me see if I can find a panel for you. They're pretty good. So check it out. Most hyped manga of recent memory. Chainsaw Man Volume 6. Already read this one. It's getting better and better and better. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. Volume 9 of Bakemonogatari. I'm going to pick these up eventually and read them, but right now they're just I'm a Bakemonogatari fan through and through, so I'm in no rush to read these just yet. Volume 3, Call of the Night. This one surprised me. It's kind of slow, I'll admit to that. The story is like kind of meh, but I find myself speed reading through this and enjoying every bit that I'm reading. So basically, it's about she's a vampire. He's a kid with insomnia. Insomnia. And he wants to become a vampire, but in order to do so, she has to fall in love with him. And I guess that's kind of what his objective is now. In the meantime, these people back here, they're friends with her, and they've kind of caught on to what's going on, and they're kind of getting involved now and picking on her and everything like that. So really, really fun read. New series. This is a franchise, really, when you think about it, that it's been around forever. I think since the 80s. It's one that I have very little knowledge of, even though I own the origins for it, and it's one I want to get into. And I think this has been the perfect. If Volume 1's any indication, this is probably the perfect series for me to get into for this particular franchise. So I'm talking about Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt. These are volumes 2 and 3. I read volume 1. I think it was at the beginning of July or the end of June, and the first couple chapters were a little rough. It was a little boring for me, but it was setting things up. And then after that, it hooked me, and now I'm very curious to see where this goes. So I'm gonna give this up to this volume 3. If it doesn't keep that same feeling or the same grabbing attention of mine, then it's got to get dropped. But I'm hoping, because I really enjoyed what I read so far, but I'm hoping I can continue this series. Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead. This has been a fun. Oh, what the hell was that zombie? Shaun of the Night kind of style. Was it Shaun of the Night? Shaun of the Night? Yeah, Shaun of the Night, right? I think. That old, like, the zombie movie that's a comedy. But anyway, this is very, very funny. I've been enjoying what I've read so far. I think I'm going to continue with this series. If Volume 3 is or Volumes 1 and 2 are any indication on how the rest of the series will go, I think I will continue reading this one. Now let's talk about one that really surprised me. I went in thinking I wouldn't enjoy this particular manga here, which is Boys Run the Riot. But when I started reading it, I fell in love. I fell in love with it. I love the story. I love the characters so far. Basically, premise is main character right here is a female, but they are transgender. And it's basically about them finding their identity, who they are, or who they want to be in life through Japanese street fashion. And so she obviously believes that she is a man, or feels that she should have been a man. That's probably the correct way to say it. If I'm said that wrong, let me know. And that's how she wants to live her. That's how he wants to live his life. So really awesome. I think this particular story has a lot more. Is going to have a lot more impact on it because the actual mangaka themselves is transgendered. So I think this is going to have a lot of personal events from their life inside this, I think. But yeah, really great read. If you're really interested in learning about, you know, the struggles that transgender people are going to go through in life, then definitely check this out, because volume 1 was a pretty good eye-opener for me. And it wasn't like hard-hitting or anything. It was things that, you know, as somebody who's not transgendered, and, you know, I don't know much about that lifestyle that those people decide to choose to be or to have. It opened my eyes to the struggles that they actually have to go through every single day, you know, not just through public opinion, but also at home. So definitely give this one a look. Volume 9, Gleipnir. One day we'll figure it out. Volume 9 of it. It is on my to read list still. I'm going to just pick up where the anime left off and go from there when I do decide to read it. Volume 7, Rent a Girlfriend. This is very, very close to being on my no longer pickup list. I think these are coming out a little too slow for me. And, you know, I'm one of those people where I want to pick up where the anime, you know, stopped and continue on from there. But when a volume comes out like once every 2.5, 3 months, it's almost to the point where you might as well just wait for the anime. But at the same time, I do not want to hear the main character's voice again. So I'm kind of on the fence about getting rid of this or not, or just start reading it, and then, yeah, we'll see. Hell's Paradise Volume 9 as well, still on my to-read list. I'm going to wait until, since there's so much hype around this, a lot of people I've talked to have read it, have hyped it up a lot. So I decided I'm going to take their word for it and get all the volumes. I think there's only going to be 10, maybe 11. So once I get volume 10 or whatever the last one is pre-ordered, I'll start reading it, and then we'll go from there. Volumes 5 and 6 of The Daily Lives of High School Boys. Look, I don't know how many times I can tell you guys to go watch this anime or go read the manga, because this shit is comedic gold. I have never laughed so hard up until Grand Blue Dreaming, because that's how funny this shit was to me. This was hilarious. There's an anime. There's a live action film. I don't know how good that is. I'm assuming if they copy and pasted it, it's going to be hilarious. And then you got the manga. So pick whichever medium you want and go into it, because it's good. It is worth it. So these next 2 series are just ones that I'm working on collecting and getting into my collection. I'm very, very close to doing so. So we'll just speed run through these, just because there's quite a bit. Well, there's not quite a bit, but I don't want to spend too much time on them. Akame ga Kill 0, volumes 7, 8, 9, and 10. I just need volumes 5 and 6. That'll complete this series for me. Akame ga Kill, volumes 4, 10, 11, 12, 15. So I need volumes 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, no, 9, 13, 14. It's halfway there. I'm just to say it's halfway there. This next part is going to be pretty much brand new manga that I have picked up. These are new series I'm looking into. These are new series I'm looking into. New manga that has been out for a while or omnibus versioned. These are just like the series that I'm taking a shot at to see how things go. With that said, I picked up volume 7 of GTO. I can already tell you this one is going to go into my for sale pile right now, because I have decided, after looking at prices all over the place for individual volumes, I have found that it is most likely going to be cheaper to find somebody who's selling the complete set and buy from them, because it's crazy how much some of these volumes are going for by themselves. So yeah, this one's not even going in the collection. This one's going into my for sale pile, and we'll touch on that at the end of the video as well. So earlier I mentioned my struggles on deciding about paperback omnibus versions to hardcover deluxe editions. This one was a struggle for me to decide on whether to actually go through and buy or not, just because it is a paperback omni and I hate paperback omnis. But Flowers of Evil, I went with the complete edition over the singles, because the singles just seem to be very, very difficult to find. And these are probably the first omnibus versions I've seen that have a pretty thick area for glue. So I'm pretty confident that these will not eventually tear apart or fall apart as time goes and as I'm reading through them. I do have all 4 complete editions, and I am an Oshimi fanboy now, so pretty much anything he's going to put out now I'm going to buy and read, and I'm going to enjoy it, most likely at the end of the day. So this isn't the only Oshimi series I picked up in this haul. I have another one, and we'll get to that soon. So Pluto, I've been looking into getting into Pluto for a long time, and it's one that I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass on not jumping into sooner. It's like Urasawa, and so we know his works are good. Tezuka, I've never personally, as far as I know, I haven't read anything of his, but yeah, this is one I'm definitely looking into. I hear a lot of good things about this particular series. I think it finished running, I think, maybe. We'll see. But yeah. So this next one we're going to look into is Under the Air by Osamu Tezuka, which is also a co-artist, producer, manga, whatever, on Pluto. So this should be really good. Now, what sold me on this was product description, which is actually on the back of this book. I'm going to read it, and it's literally what I read. That first line, and it was like, I got to buy that. And it goes, an injured white supremacist struggles with the fact that he was brought back to life by a black organ donor. Once I read that, and you have to understand, at the time that I read this is when a lot of the BLM protests were really kicking off. And, you know, on my Facebook, I would always see people talking negatively towards the BLM protests. So when I saw that and saw what this had in it, I jumped on it, because it's going to be interesting to see how somebody who looks so negatively towards a different person based off their skin color, and to know that they have an organ from them that kept them alive or brought them back to life. So that's gonna be really awesome. And from my understanding, these are all short stories from the 80s, it looks like, or sounds like. So this should be a really, really interesting read. Mentioned during Flowers of Evil, I had another Oshimi series that I'm gonna start, Blood on the Tracks. This is another one I've been kind of kicking myself in the ass on not buying into sooner, because this one, from my understanding, is creepy in a psychological aspect, I guess. So I'm really, really interested in this one. Following the theme with Boys Run the Riot, I came across this particular manga, and I decided to give it a shot, even though I don't think it's gonna hit exactly like Boys Run the Riot will. And it is Love Me for Who I Am. I have volumes 1 through 3 of this, and basically I'm not sure because there's a different female on every cover, it looks like, so I'm not sure if it's the same person or if it's a different person. But basically it's about a character who's non-binary, I guess, if that's the right term, and kind of, I guess, slice of life on how things go for them in life. Could be wrong. I haven't read nothing about it. I saw that there was 3 volumes out when I ordered them, so I snagged up all 3 just to see how it goes. This one I thought was pretty cool. This is the maid I hired recently is Mysterious. As you can see, I just started reading it last night. What makes this one so interesting for me is this is the only manga I've seen that has done this, and I'm gonna try to find a good panel. But every scene, I'm gonna block this page just in case if it's spoilers, but every scene that features the maid has her eyes colored in purple. Every scene of her eyes are purple in every scene. So I thought that was really, really cool. Really nice little unique aspect or touch to the manga to set it apart. Can't speak much for the story so far. It seems kind of redundant, I guess, played out. Something we've seen many, many times before. But we'll see what happens. The Great Jahi will not be defeated. This one I'm on the fence to continue buying, especially since the anime just released. And this is kind of giving me, I mean, it's honestly Devil's a part-timer but female version, right? That's realistically that's what this is. With that said, I'm not really that interested in reading The Devil is a Part-Timer anymore. And that's kind of where this is falling for me. And it sucks that the anime came out before the manga, or the English release of the manga happened. So it's one of those things, you know, from looking at this one book literally is covering like 2.5 episodes, so it may still be worth it. I don't know. It's on the fence for me right now. Another 3-volume rule I'm going to do, and another one that I've been kind of kicking myself in the ass for not looking into sooner. Dead Demons Destruction. I have volumes 1 through 3. It's an Inyo Asano manga. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about this one. From my understanding, it's about like aliens and things like that, which is always cool. So I will be reading these, and when I do, we will decide from there whether or not to continue on. Laughing Under the Clouds. This is just volumes 1 and 2. This is a newer series I picked up, and essentially it's like a mystery series, I guess. Kind of give, so the back says, in the early Meiji era, against civil unrest and the end of the samurai way of life, Japan's crime rate skyrocketed. As prisons overflow, the government has no choice but to build a new, inescapable prison. The prison is Gokumanju, located in the center of Lake Biwa, which means it relies on 3 sons of the Kumo family who transport criminals to it. But is Gokumanju truly just a prison for petty criminals? So I'm kind of getting some I almost want to say like a mystery, like battle-esque royale, or like a Batum kind of esque royale. Like people are just stranded on an island, and they're sent there for crimes, and people are setting up like groups or whatever for survival. So I'm kind of getting that feeling from just reading that little back panel of this. I'm gonna wait till I get volume 3 to actually read. That's kind of how I'm gonna do things now. 3 volumes, read it, and go from there. But yeah, 1 and 2, waiting on volume 3, and then we'll read and see how it goes. This is a interesting one. Shed That Skin, Ryugasaki-san. This is gonna be, if I remember correctly, kind of like a romance manga. So Ryugasaki-san is, from my understanding, part human, part reptile, and there is a person. So she sheds her skin, hence Shed That Skin, multiple times a year, and apparently there is a individual in her class who loves reptiles and has caught, or she has caught his eye, and it's gonna develop into a relationship most likely. And in the process, she's gonna show that particular person that there's more to her than her ability to shed her skin. A little weird, might be fun, might not. We'll see. This next one, Berserk of Gluttony, is a true edgelord of a manga, because we got a edgelord knockoff Kiroto from Sword Art Online, and basically this dude's like super powerful because he consumes all this power and shit like that. Haven't read it. Most likely going to be dropping it, just because it's just too edgelordy for me, honestly. Now this next one, Ghost in the Shell, the Human Algorithm. I want to get more into the universe of Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell is obviously one of those series that I watched in the mid to late 90s in the animated film that is everyone knows about. You know, other than that film, I don't know anything else about Ghost in the Shell, which is a shame, because I know there's like several films, and I have never watched them. So I do plan to see how this one goes, and yeah, we'll see. Next new series, I have volumes 1 and 2 right now of Ninja Slayer Kills. I have volumes 3 to 5 on order, and this, along with some of the Akame ga Kill and this next particular series, I'm going to make a video about this down the road. It's basically in stock trade just being not a great service to use. But anyway, this is only a 5-volume series, so I just dumped on it and snagged up all 5 volumes because it's so short. And essentially, this is a future version of Tokyo that is covered. The streets, from what I read, is the streets are covered in acid rain and blood, and there's like ninja clans and syndicates, and there's a particular individual who's going through and hunting them all down and killing them, because the syndicates and clans are killing citizens in the crossfire. So think of like gang wars, but with ninjas. So sounded cool, sounds a little interesting, so I bought all 5 of them. This is going to wrap up our new pickups or new series, or like just a new series that we've been curious about looking into, and we can get into our out of print and old series that I've been wanting to buy for a while. But anyway, I went ahead and picked up the continuation for Akame ga Kill with Hijinowa ga Crush. Now this is, from my understanding, a continuation of Akame ga Kill, or basically Akame after the events of Akame got killed. I think there's 5 volumes out now. I am a little behind because I only got to volumes 1 through 4. And this was part of my in-stock trades order, which I just have issues with. And I will never, ever drop my issues about this stuff. But this is brand new. This is currently serializing. This should have been in the first group that we did, but at the same time, it's a new series, so what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? All right, so now with that, we move into the out of print, the old collector's editions, I guess, of manga, and these are ones that I have been having my eye on for a long time. Been hunting and hunting for a good or a fair deal without spending a lot of money. And I think with some of these, I did okay. You'll probably figure out which series I probably got maybe a little screwed on, but the way I look at it, I didn't do too bad when all things are considered. And I'll explain how I kind of got the particular series I feel like I might have gotten screwed on. But anyway, let's kick it off with Samurai Executioner. I was able to pick up volumes 1 through 10. This is a Kazuo Kyoke manga, so if you're not familiar with him, Lone Wolf and Cub. This is his one of his works. They're all in pretty good condition. About half are still in the wrapping, half are not. In fact, I honestly think volume 1 here is probably the worst in terms of yellowing, and this is not that bad. Other than that, all the covers are in really good condition still. These are kind of cool just because these are so tiny. Like, look at them compared to a standard manga. That just trips me out, and I love it. But yeah, I went ahead and got all 10 volumes of this. I do plan to actually, since we're on the subject of this particular individual, I do want to pick up his other series, especially Lone Wolf and Cub. What was the other one? Path of the Assassin, I think it was. I think that's one of the other ones. New Wolf and Cub New, I guess, or New Wolf and Cub would be fun to jump into as well. But yeah, and with that said, I have another series from this particular individual as well. I actually didn't know it was the same person, or I didn't know he did this particular series until it arrived. And now that I have it, I'm kind of conflicted because they're all wrapped. They're all wrapped up. This is Lady Snowblood. I have another Dark Horse one, volumes 1 through 4. They're all wrapped up. So I'm kind of conflicted because I want to read them, but I don't want to open them. You know? But basically, this one is a revenge story. Miss Snowblood here. That's what I'm going to call her because I don't know her actual name. But she basically does any means necessary to get revenge for the people that killed, I believe it was her family or her mother. I really want to read this, but they're all wrapped up. So I may just, hate to say it, but I don't want to wrap these back up. I may just go find them online and read them. That way I can just keep these in the seal. And it's not a true, it's just aftermarket or third party wrap. I just don't want to open it and then rewrap it, you know. So this next one, it's in a box still because I really don't have any room for it just yet. It's also in a box because it's 37 volumes. 37 volumes should give you a little clue as to what it is. And when you see the cover, you'll probably know that this is the one I probably got a little gypped on. I was able to get all of Gantz. I have a weird history with Gantz, I guess. I watched the anime a long time ago. I watched one of the live action films, and that's pretty much it. And you know, when I first saw Gantz, I didn't really care for it too much. You know, I was just kind of like, it's whatever. But now that I'm older, and you know, the more I think about Gantz, and I just think that this should be a series that I should jump right back into and read. I'm just grabbing random volumes out to show you. As you can see, a lot of these are still in the wrapping, which is insane to me. But yeah, I mean, Gantz is awesome. You know what I like about Gantz? I'm not gonna say it's awesome, but what I like about it, that it's a weird one because it deals with aliens and things like that, and it's got a lot of violence and death, but yeah, I was able to get all of Gantz, all 37 volumes. And that leads me to kind of, we'll get that after this next one. We'll get to that. The other one's in a box too. Now this is the one that I was able to find. Gantz. I bought this one and Gantz together. What ended up happening is I was actually looking for this particular series, The Tomb. I did mention it earlier in the video, but I was looking for this particular series, and there was a guy or a gentleman down in Oregon, which is just the state below me. It's about a 3 hour drive. He was selling this whole set, all of Batum, and he had the option for pickup only. So I put a bid in, or I didn't put a bid in, I put in an offer, and he took it. And basically the offer was, you know, I come down there to where he's at, or meet him somewhere down there and pick it up. You know, he accepted, and then, you know, I was browsing through his other listings, and he had a couple other full series that I wanted. He had like Initial D, I think it was all like 26 or 27 volumes of whatever it is. But he had all like Initial D. He had all of, I think he had most of GTO, and he had some other ones. But he said, hey, just come to my house, pick these up. If you don't know, Oregon has, or Portland has, a big ass used bookstore called Powell's Books. And my original intention was to actually go to Powell's Books, browse their section, you know, see what they got there, and then meet up with this person or do it after that. So I went down to Oregon with a good amount of cash. Let's put it this way, like, looking back at it now, you know, not telling anyone that I was going to Portland, Oregon, that I was meeting up with some stranger at his house with a large amount of, not a large amount, but a good amount of cash, and with no protection. I went to this guy's house to buy Manga. But anyway, I get there, you know, he's got a truck outside. He's, you know, it's loaded with boxes, so I kind of assumed something was going on, but turns out he's moving. he's getting rid of everything. Turns out the guy or the truck that was in the driveway was somebody else that bought a whole bunch of his personal belongings as well. Was loading it up, but he had a little library in one of the rooms, and it was just, you know, probably like 6 or 7 like bookshelves full of manga and various books. And I saw that he had Batum already boxed up for me, and then I saw Gantz on the bookshelf, and I said, "Hey, are you selling Gantz?" And he said, "Yeah." So he talked it out, we worked it out and everything, and he included Gantz into the deal. So I paid up a lot more than I originally intended to, because I only originally intended to get Batum, but I walked out with Batum and Gantz, and I've been happy. I'm happy with the pickup. I'm happy with working with that particular individual. I still ended up going to Powell's. Didn't find nothing. At least nothing that I needed now that I had, you know, 2 full series in my trunk and everything. But yeah, that is... And we're not done. We got a couple more things to talk about. Went ahead and picked up Femme Fatale. This is basically a art book of all of Oshimi's female character designs. And you know me, I love my art books. And anything to support my bro Oshimi, I will jump into. But yeah, it's just basically all the things we've seen before from his covers and whatnot, and other works that we probably don't even have yet here in the States or in English translations. But yeah, so this is a cool little book. It's just, that's basically the whole book, was these little drawings of his female characters and everything. Apart from that, we went and picked up Tayo Tayo. If I said that wrong, whatever. Whatever, you know. Every now and then, Right Stuff has these deals for these books. That's when I jump into them and buy them. Except for this ripoff. I shouldn't call it a ripoff, but I'm a little upset about this one. So this is the Saiton box. So that's the front. It's the back. Now, when I read the Saiton box, I thought I was going to get quite a bit. What do you get? Well, you get 4 doujinshi. So technically you get 3 doujinshi now that I looked at it. So you get 3 doujinshi. You get whatever the fuck this is. This is literally like a 4-page little book. Let me just explain how fucked this is. These two are in full color. Full color. Okay? This 4-page bullshit is black and white, and it looks like it's more like rough sketch drawings more than anything. So that's a little annoying. But then this one is all in black and white. So I don't get the whole thing here. And then you got these two. Right? You got these two that are in color, because they're just like little sketches, I guess. Like, I wish I could show you, but getting all this shit censored would just be the whole page blurred. But it's so I paid like, looking back, this is why I'm so mad. I paid. I think it was $80 for this, because I thought a box would have been like at least something that was like, like at least like at least 10 full doujinshi, but I got like 3 and some basically like color books. It feels like, but yeah, this has probably been my most disappointing purchase. The only benefit is the cover girl there, adorable, but other than that, this was a waste. All right, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is my July and August manga haul. If my math is right, that's 134 volumes, 135 volumes, something like that. That's not counting the artbook and the 2 hentai. That's just strictly all the manga. This is probably my biggest manga haul that I've ever done. It's probably my most expensive manga haul that I've ever done. And I don't think it'll ever become like this size again. I think after this, it's really going to slow down. Anyway, let's wrap this up because this is already a long video. This has been, like I said, my largest manga haul, my biggest manga haul, probably my biggest manga, definitely my most expensive. And yeah, hope you liked it. Let me know some of the things that you saw in there that you are curious about, that you're curious about reading, getting your hands on. What are you reading in general? Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will see you next time for the reading log video. Peace.